The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security and Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb, and we are broadcasting from the Hesselson studio and in that virtual studio. Mickey Bell, thanks so much for being on the program.
Frank, thank you so much for letting me come and be a part. This is awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm excited. You're going to be in Elmira coming right up on December the 10th. Tell us, for people that aren't familiar with it, and by the way, it's at the Salvation Army of Elmira. What is Celebrate Recovery Celebration?
Celebrate Recovery is a program that was started back in 1991. It is a Christian version of a recovery program similar to that of AA or any type of other addiction facility that you may be familiar with. The only thing is this one actually covers a lot more issues, habits, hurts that people may be going through. They have grief counseling, overeating, abandonment issues, just a whole list of things that they're able to cover. And what I'm doing is I'm coming in and giving everybody kind of like a free night of laughter and just some encouragement for the holidays.
Yeah, and that's what I'm glad you mentioned that, because you're going to put on essentially a comedy show. What made you decide that to share your story, you want to do it through comedy?
Well, see, comedy is one of those things that tears down barriers.
Yeah.
And whenever any comic, it doesn't matter what comic, whether they are rated R or whether they are clean, it doesn't matter. When you laugh, you tear down walls.
Sure.
And I think it's very important that my responsibility is, when those walls are torn down, what am I going to put inside of you that's going to bring about change? It's going to bring you encouragement. It's going to help you through what you're struggling with. And so I take that very seriously.
Well, is it difficult to do comedy when you have such often a serious message?
No. Come on now. I mean, if you can't laugh at yourself with issues.
Well, that's true. That's probably true.
No, a lot of people ask that. That's a great question, because a lot of people ask that. Because I'm very open about my bout with mental illness. I'm very open about the fact that I take medication, and people are like, how do you incorporate that with comedy? And I'm like, you know what? It's really fairly easy once you see that it's not about the heavy subject of mental illness. It's just kind of laughing at the things that we do when we think we're okay, when we're really not.
Right. And we should know, because the event coming up on December 10th at the Salvation Army of Elmira, it is obviously, I think you've already pointed to it, family friendly. It's for all ages, right?
It is. When I started doing comedy, Frank, one of the very first things that I wanted to be sure that I was able to do, I wanted to be able to have a show to where the teenagers could come, but then Mama and Papa could come. And we don't have to be afraid of, oh, he's going to say something. Now, I'm going to push the envelope. Don't get me wrong. You might get a little uncomfortable, but it's not going to be because of the content, or it's not going to be because that I use filthy language. I don't cuss in my programs. Now, I think it, I just don't say it. And so, but I just wanted a night where the entire family could come and enjoy an evening together, because we really don't have a lot of events that allow that to happen.
No.
I mean, even when you go to a movie, I mean, a lot of it's restricted by age. And so I wanted an event where everybody could come and experience it together.
Do you find it corny when people ask, is it difficult to do comedy that's not blue? Because some of the greatest of all time did it clean.
Well, when I first started, and I reached out to a couple of mentors in LA that were comics, they told me I had to choose. I had to choose right then. Which one are you going to be? Because once you go one way, you can't turn around and go the other.
That's a good point.
And so I was told that when doing clean comedy, it's going to be harder to write, it's going to be harder to deliver, but you're going to have way more opportunities to work. And that has been absolutely true. I've done 250 shows this year, and already planning on doing that many again next year, because people find it difficult to find shows again where the entire family can come. You don't have to worry about getting a babysitter.
Right.
Everybody can come. And that was for Mama and Papa. But no, it's just clean comedy is harder to write.
Yeah.
And then when you start getting around church people, that is another version of clean that you have to apply to the washing. Because there are things that you can say in a comedy club that you can't say in the Baptist church, or you can once. You just won't be back.
But you mentioned that you did that many gigs this year alone, and I'm looking at your schedule, and you somehow find time, and I want to talk about both of them, to write a book. You're also going to do a movie here soon.
Yeah.
Do you have any free time, or are you?
No.
Or it doesn't sound it. No.
The only free time I had today, and I'm talking to you. So there you go.
Sorry,
That's
pal.
how important you are to my life.
Sorry, pal. You could have done better. But tell us about your brand new book. You're Not Alone This Holiday Season. Perfect time to be out.
Well, see, when I've been talking about mental illness for the last 2 years in my shows, and just with my partnership with NAMI and all the different organizations that deal with mental health, the holidays are the worst.
Sure.
That is the worst for individuals that deal with any kind of anxiety, depression, PTSD. The holidays are the worst. And I thought, we've got to do something. And I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I sat down and I put this, it's like a 67-page book. I mean, it's very easy, quick to read. But from the results that we're hearing, from the response of the people, it's very powerful in the sense that I keep you laughing, even though we're talking about, a heavy subject. But the thing about the holidays is there are individuals that dread it. They don't like the music. They don't like the lights because it reminds them of someone that's not there. Or it reminds them of how lonely they may really feel. And so I wanted to do something that kind of helped them, that help them understand that you are not alone this holiday season. And a lot of times the reason we become alone is we choose to be. So we have to put ourselves out there. And we have to attend things like a comedy show that's coming to your area.
Coming to Elmira on December 10th. Perfect.
I mean, we're giving you the opportunity to do that. But no, that little book, thank you for mentioning it. It's available on Amazon. I think it's $4.99.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We're literally doing it at cost because it wasn't one of those books that we wrote to try to become a bestseller. We didn't write it to make a profit. I literally wrote it to help individuals get through the holiday season and turn those tears into laughter.
And this isn't your first book. In the past, you did a devotional, right?
I did. I've done a devotional. It's 60 days for people who are looking for their identity, people who have a struggle. One of my biggest struggles, Frank, was getting out of the bed. I say now that if my feet touch the floor, I've won the day. That's usually my biggest struggle. I can handle whatever comes at me usually after that. So I did a 60-day devotional to where if you were to pick up the phone and call me every day for 60 days, please don't do that. This would be what I would tell you. And it's been really good. A book I wrote before that is called Reverse the Course of Depression.
Okay.
That's 14 different thoughts that attack my mind when it comes to my depression. And I teach people how to handle those thoughts before they turn into feelings. So, yeah.
Well, and that's interesting, going back to the whole comedy idea, because you would think someone dealing with depression would struggle with comedy.
Well, here's the thing. Every comedian that's worth their salt in comedy, we all have issues.
Oh, sure.
That's the reason we're standing on stage doing comedy. I mean, all the way back to Robin Williams. I mean, look at his story. Look at his life. Look at how it ended. So we all have issues. And when you talk to people like Kevin Hart, when you talk to people like Steve Harvey, Nate Bargatze, when you talk to John Chris, you can mention all of these comics. They will tell you there's something wrong with us.
Sure.
And what we have learned to do is we've learned to turn that pain around and go, okay, I can turn that into something positive. And if what used to be a mechanism for me as a child to deflect the pain that I was feeling as a teenager in trying to be funny and make people laugh, now I get paid to do it.
Well, that's but speaking of your busy schedule, you've got to tell us about your filming schedule coming up in February. So you're almost there. Tell us about, you're going to be working with Dean Cain, right?
Well, actually, I have already done 2 movies.
Okay.
We did one in Vegas with Dean Cain and Kevin Sorbo.
Oh, okay.
It's called The Holy One. It's in production it's in editing right now. I did another movie in Arkansas.
Okay.
That's going to be coming out. I'm actually headed, in fact, tomorrow. I am headed to West Virginia to do a Christmas movie with Dean and Kevin.
Oh, okay.
It's called Paint Saves Christmas. And so that's going to be one that we're doing. The one that we're gearing up for in February is actually a movie based on my life story. And so we're very excited about that. But yeah, I mean, this is an opportunity I never thought would come. I mean, when you think Dean Cain, Superman, and you think Kevin Sorbo, Hercules, where does Mickey Bell fit in? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
I mean, I can't even stand next to them to take a photo without standing in a chair. So it's a very unique experience, one that I am going to always treasure because they are great guys, very encouraging, and I just love that I get to have that a part of my life now.
Well, and Kevin Sorbo, and this is not take away from Dean Cain. I know with Kevin Sorbo, when you saw him in God's Not Dead, you ended up hating the guy.
Yeah,
he's a good actor. When I interviewed him, it was almost I was on edge.
When I saw my wife look at him for the first time, you know what? And I'm going to kind of tell my age here, but I remember talking to a guy by the name of Nikita Koloff. Nikita Koloff was a wrestler that was a Russian nightmare, even though he was never Russian.
Right.
And I remember when I talked to him, I said, I hated you. He went, yes, I did my job. And I think that's the same thing with Kevin. I think the fact that he was able to cause you to hate him so much just talks about how great of an actor he is.
I know.
Just means he did his job.
Yeah, he did a great job. So that's great you get to work with him. So would you rather be filming or would you rather be on stage?
On stage.
Yeah, there's probably nothing like it.
Well, see, filming is a hurry up and wait. Like, you may go on set and sit for 3 hours, and then they need you for 15 minutes, and then you go sit and wait. See, the thing with comedy that I love, too, is the fact that I get to see the transformation. So when people come in and they're sitting down for a show, I can see the stress. I can see the pain. I can see the hurt. But I can also see when they let that barrier down and they start laughing, and you start seeing a peace come over them. Man, there's nothing like that. Yeah,
I'm sure. That was probably not the best question because, I mean, I would think filming is neat in its own way. But, man, that's got to feel, in your case.
Yeah, I mean, because filming is just you, a camera, and whoever's there.
Yeah.
You don't get to see the response immediately. Right. And you may never get to see the response when people are watching the movie. You just kind of have to hope that it's connecting. When you're on stage, you automatically see that it's connecting.
Yeah. And we're talking about Celebrate Recovery Celebration, December 10th, the Salvation Army of Elmira. I know you're extremely busy, so we'll tie it back into that event on the 10th. I'm sure during your years doing this, you've received amazing testimony and how you've helped people. What does that feel like?
It keeps me going every day.
Yeah.
It gets me out of the bed, literally. Yeah. When I think that I'm not doing enough, when I think about, I'm not funny enough, I'm not as funny as everybody else. I mean, come on now, that works on your emotions just like it does everybody else.
Sure.
I mean, just because I look like I've got it all together doesn't mean I've got it all together. And so you start thinking about those testimonies. You start thinking about that pastor that sent me an email yesterday that's never met me before, but wanted to tell me how my reels on Facebook help him get through the day. And I'm like, what? Yeah. So, it's those moments. It's those stories. It's those testimonies of people going, you know what? I really wanted to end it, but you gave me hope again. And that's what helps you get through the day. That's
amazing. Mickey Bell's been our guest. Thanks so much for being here on the program, and best of luck in Elmira on December 10th.
Listen, I can't wait to be there, Frank. I'm kind of upset. We didn't wave at anybody.
I know. I said I was going to wave, but I forget at Zoom I stare down, so I don't look up.
We never I was going to wave with you.
Yeah.
Nobody came by and waved.
Yeah, nobody came by and waved. It's even lunchtime. Where are they? Well, it is 7 degrees out. That could be the reason.
There you go.
Keep that in mind when you're here on December 10th. Dress warm.
Not looking forward to that.
No, Mickey, thanks a lot. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking. Stay with